Well, hello there. If I look a little grumpy, it's probably because I am grumpy. It's all cloudy and cold outside. Not to mention, I'm grounded. Grounded, I say. Grounded, I tell ya. The Landship Enterprise, aka the Random Van, is in the shop for repairs, which I knew I needed when I bought the van. But I procrastinated, and last year, during all the hubbub of getting the van and repairing it, somehow something slipped through the cracks. And my other car, the old faithful Mustang, which is old enough now that in California it has to get smogged all the time, remains in perfect working order, but unfortunately unregistered. What happened was they sent the registration renewal here, and they sent the smog renewal notice thing to our old address for some reason, so we paid for the registration, didn't know it needed to be smogged. Anyway, the whole thing is, it's not registered. Technically, it would be illegal to drive this out on the road. The van's in the shop. No car. Kind of cold and windy, and the weather can't make up its mind whether it wants to be cloudy or not. All I want to do is be out there having adventures, out there filming and getting crazy. The van put me a little behind schedule. Then Allie's birthday put me a little behind schedule. This is what's left for having her birthday party. Somebody even loaned us a giant screen, so she watched a movie out here. Pretty cool. My kid's been struggling with grades. There's been a lot going on to keep me landlocked, and today, being completely grounded with no car, it's making me feel extra claustrophobic. Ironically, this comes at a moment where I have a lot that I could be doing. I am working on a 10-year Random Land episode because this month will be the 10th anniversary of Random Land. Unfortunately, it's not going very well. 10 years of footage, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of hours of video is hard to go through and find all the little bits you want, so expect delays on that. I really should be using this opportunity to work on that, since I am stuck at home anyways, but when I'm stuck here, kind of claustrophobic feeling, the last thing I want to do is be looking at myself having all these old adventures in the past. I'm feeling kind of lazy, so I don't really want to clean up the party stuff. I guess I could see if I could resume work on some wood carvings I started a couple months ago. Let me just grab the garage opener. There it is. I almost never use the clicker. I always forget which button that it is. I think it's this one. Oh, you know what? Before I go in there, I need to get a soda. Can't help myself. My number one vice, caffeine. Rats! Aw, man, as if I didn't have enough stuff already to clean up from Allie's party. I have got to get an exterminator. Oh, the wind is starting to blow. My bones are aching. Storm's coming, Annie. You better get home. With all this stuff blowing across Anaheim. Oh, that's not the only cleaning up I need to do. As you can see, we had two things happen. We met our landlord for the first time in the 3 years that we've lived here. They came sort of at the last minute, like, oh, we're coming tomorrow, check the place out. And so we panic cleaned the inside of the house and just chucked everything into the garage. And then, of course, Allie's party happened, so there's a bunch of party stuff in here, and everything got moved around again. Here's some of the paintings that she made for her party. She's so talented. Whew, I forget what I was going to show you now. Oh, yeah. I was thinking maybe I could get a little bit of work done on some of the carvings that I've actually been working on and off since last year, actually. As you can see, I've got a few of these bad boys. I was doing an experiment with copy carving, and I sent this off to somebody to see if they could copy carve it, like use a machine to copy an existing carving and basically recarve it out of another piece of wood. The experiment didn't go so well because it was too highly detailed, but this is my original here. I carved out of some old pieces of cabinet. I don't even know when this was. This would have been maybe last summer or something like that. The copies came back and they were pretty much, you could vaguely see what needed to be done, but I actually spent longer carving out the copies and doing all the fine detail carving and sanding on these than I did on the original. So they're pretty much all hand carved from scratch, basically over and over again, with just the outline shape done for you. And here are the two copies right here. One of them I have painted, I'm not finished with it, and the other one remains unpainted and unstained, so it's going to have some wood stain on there and stuff like that. This one is my favorite. I think this one came out the very best. There's extra detail in the splash. I like the way the thorns came out. Anyway, all these were done before I even went to Disney World to watch the closing of the original Splash Mountain. So they weren't even inspired by that. I was just working on them like, what thing has a lot of wood carvings, you know? Ah, Splash Mountain, Critter Country. Critter Country's full of wood carvings. I can do some wood carvings. Ooh, I just noticed I forgot to finish his collar right there. Huh. So anyway, I started working on these before there was a closing date to anything. And I'm now just sort of just pulling them back out to finish up right as the Disneyland original version closes. Well, this isn't the last carving series that I worked on. Inspired by this, I was like, well, I really should have made the rabbit a lot bigger and bolder. So, tiny piece by tiny piece, I've been hacking away at this guy right here, Brer Rabbit. As you see, the tools for this job are mighty fine. Got some very, very small chisels here and gouges. I've never really used one much before, but I bought a cheap Chinese Dremel. Well, knockoff Dremel. Just to help me get down in between the briars, right? The briars, as I learned from the last project, are very difficult to reach, especially down along the side of Brer Rabbit, who, as you can see here, sticks up significantly from the background. It's a little bit of a high relief carving is what it's called. Anyway, other than this, which I've been chipping away at, I don't know, for weeks and weeks, just little by little, I'll come out here and literally spend like 5 minutes scraping on this thing, then walk in. So just 5 minutes at a time, he slowly comes to life. I kind of like how rough it is. So I don't know how much more I've got left to do on him. I kind of like the rough-hewn look, but we'll see. Anyway, other than this and cleaning up the rat's mess, all I've got to work on is that 10-year anniversary video. And I have been swimming in reminiscences editing that thing. I'm only up through from 2013, 14, 15, and now I'm most of the way through 2016. Sounds like I made a lot of progress till you realize I've got 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and parts of 23 to get through, to sort through. So it's a big project, but I want to do it. And I want to do it the right way without taking shortcuts. I want my vision to be accomplished, but wondering why there's been a little bit of space between episodes sometimes is because I probably sat there spending 4 days going through hundreds of hours of old footage and clips, and I'm just working on something a little special. At least I hope I'm working on something special and not just working on a boondoggle that goes nowhere. Oh, and right when I said going nowhere, I remembered about the van. Ah, well, at least the repairs that I knew it was going to need when I bought it are finally getting done. See, new vans of the kind that I would want cost between $60,000 and $100,000. So since I bought a van for like $6,000, less than the price of visiting the Star Wars hotel that everybody was visiting at the time, I'll have you know, I got a van that I knew you'd eventually have to throw probably another $14,000 or so into. You're probably going to end up having $20,000 into it. Just by the time you replace all the rubber, all the gaskets, all the pumps, the radiator, every little thing has got to be replaced bit by bit by bit. The transmission caught me off guard last year just because I wasn't expecting to have to do it so soon, and it kind of delayed some other inevitable repairs that had to be made, including the ones that are being done right at this moment. I've almost never mentioned the van or what repairs it needs, and this is probably, I don't know, half the repairs that it needs, so it's a big chunk of them all at once. I don't usually mention it because there's always those haters out there who love to jump in the comments and be like, it's a money pit, push it off a cliff, who don't know what they're talking about and don't know that this was always part of the plan in the first place. I knew exactly what was wrong with it, and I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. I just figured, rather than buying a brand new $50,000, $100,000 van or whatever it was, I could spend less, way less than the price of buying a new van, than the payment you would spend on that, just every month, slowly fixing up things bit by bit by bit, you know, just a little bit at a time, like the old Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time. But life never goes according to plan, and of course other stuff got in the way, and I'm basically just now getting back to like, oh yeah, well, some of those things needed to be fixed sooner rather than later, and most importantly, they need to be in order so we can get out of here and take that Landship Enterprise out into the rest of the United States this summer and check some things out. So even including these repairs, which are, you know, not insignificant, a little chunk of money here. Even when these are done, plus the transmission disaster, plus anything else I've had to do, and the cost of the van to me, I'm still at less than most people put down on a brand new van. So, it's not that I have any regrets. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. It's a little frustrating how slowly the repair schedule has gone. But, oh well, better now than never. One piece at a time. Just like carving this carving of Brer Rabbit here. You just slice off one little piece at a time. Now I know why wood carvings are so expensive. They take a long time. People always ask how many hours. I can't tell you how many hours. I don't pay attention. I'm just carving off one piece at a time until it looks sorta like I think it should look. It never looks exactly like what it looked like in your brain because it always takes these little twists and turns you weren't expecting. But this is in the ballpark. In the ballpark. It's been a long time since I've had a chance to do any wood carving. Matter of fact, I was so busy at the beginning of this year. It's been a long time since I've had the ability to do a lot of things I should have been doing. But some of it's finally starting to go our way. We're finally starting to eke out the beginning of the 10th anniversary merch on the online store. And I've finally been able to turn some of my attention towards the antique store booth because we were either going to have to completely get rid of it or come up with a whole new plan. And I'm happy to inform you, we've come up with a whole new plan, although that'll have to wait until later to tell you guys about. That combined with the van repairs and working on the 10th anniversary video means a lot of good stuff is coming right up, which you'd think would make me happy, but it doesn't. It makes me miserable because I know things are gonna be awesome, and in the meantime I'm standing around like just waiting for things to be awesome. Why aren't they awesome yet? Wow. Well, anyway, at least a painted one of these is going to go up on eBay here in a minute. That will defray some of the cost of getting a whole bunch of stuff worked on the van. It needed all new tires, it needed new ball joints, it needed new shocks in the front. I mean, I knew that from the second I stepped in that thing. Transmission pan gasket, radiator. It needed a bunch of little things that I put off and drove all across the country and all the way back, just sort of crossing my fingers that, you know, the radiator wouldn't explode and things like that. And now it's time not to test my luck again all the way across the country. I'm still skipping a few things that need to be done too. Like I'm not getting the power steering, like the gearbox for that needs to be replaced. There's some other work that has to happen eventually. But the good news is a big chunk will be done at once. And I can feel a lot better about driving this thing out of town. It's not perfect. It's never perfect. It's never exactly the way you want it. Just like my whole situation. Just like my whole life. But you know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it's good enough to go out there and be in somebody else's home now. Probably a week's worth of work just went into this one piece. When I put that much work into something, like I don't want to... I never want to let it go, you know? It does me no good sitting around here in the garage collecting dust and spiders. I didn't make it to keep. I mean, I made it to see if I could, mostly, yeah, just to see if I could make, you know, some kind of 3D Splash Mountain-y, fitting in with the theme, wood carvy type of deal. Then I remember painting it, and then I remember when Splash Mountain closed at Disney World thinking like, no, I don't want to let go of the brayer now. I wonder if other artists and other mediums feel the way I always feel about stuff like this, paintings, carvings. Like, one, you don't want anyone else to see it because you're like, I'm not done with it, it's not perfect. And then even if you're like, well, it's as good as it's ever going to get, you're still like, no, I don't want other people to have this. It's mine to enjoy. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work. Dude, I really need to clean up in here. All right, now that I've got a little wood work done, time to focus on somebody else's work for a minute. This show on this channel has never been a couples vlog. It's never been a me and Allie show, but Allie appears quite often in videos, especially the last couple of years when she was waiting for or between her surgeries. It seems like she was around all the time because she was around all the time. But those surgeries interrupted something she was doing. They interrupted her education. That's right, the beautiful Allie was back in school. And although her surgeries may have heimbucked a couple semesters, she's been back in school now for a while. And what has she been studying? Fashion design. Learning to sew and to make things. She's got a lot of talent at it, actually. And tonight is one of their events where they have to show off some of their classwork. So we've got our entire family in tow here to check it out. At what, by the way, is my old college. Although since I was enrolled here 10 years ago, they built quite a few new buildings. All right, here it is. Technology in Fashion, the Geordie LaForge Show. Now, of course, they picked the projects they wanted Allie to do, so it's not like she came up with them or with the project ideas out of her own brain. But she did have to make some designs, and I can't wait to see them. All right, into the courtyard, flyboy. Ooh, here we go. From what I understand, each piece out here has something to do with recycling or future technology in fashion. And here's Allie's piece right here, all made out of recycled materials. That's the main thing over here, but the design is all her own. For some reason, this one reminds me of Marty McFly. Can't think why. This one reminds me of derelict.
All of these are recycled fabrics.
Okay, I see. All the ones out here are basically derelict, and they're in various stages of completion, although I must tell you, Allie completed hers a long time ago. You can definitely tell people went to thrift stores, or they found different pieces of old sheets or old throwaway fabric, and then created all new original designs like this one here, like Allie's beautiful dress. Look at this. She's learned over the past few years all the pattern making, doing all the pleats. She's taking different sewing classes. I believe this dress was for her pattern making class, but she has another project in this fashion show for her textiles class. Oh, look at this dress, is hot. Get it? Because there's chili peppers or fingernails or something on there. Wait, I forgot to put in the crystals. Okay, I want to see Allie's other project. Look at this, we got the whole room to ourselves. Ugh, I'm getting choked up. She's very shy and very modest about it, like, well, just don't expect it to be anything awesome. It's just my school assignments. It's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to all of us. We like to support you. More than the school supports her. Look at this, they spelled her name wrong. Oh. So there's like a lot of different levels of students in here, like beginning to like really super advanced. What does this girl do, bridal stuff? So she makes wedding dresses?
I think so. It's really good.
Ooh, and she 3D designed this cool samurai outfit. Ooh, look at this. Mad Max.
I like this one. I would wear that.
Lots of different stuff in here. Allie's textile project is kind of like a science fair project, though. In keeping with the future technology in fashion theme, she did some silk screening with algae. Screen printing with algae. That ink is made out of sustainable algae-ness. And look at that. You made that design by hand, right?
Yes.
And you did the screen by yourself. And you screen printed that little shirt right there. That's Allie's design. Hey, look, your name's spelled right there. Oh, wait, you spelled that. Oh, and Allie just told me that it's also spelled correctly on the giant sign out here in the courtyard. We got to change that name, though. Change that last name. First, the wedding got postponed by COVID. Now it's postponed indefinitely by her health stuff and just the way her health insurance works and getting the teams of doctors and all the stuff that they have to monitor her for. And her medication without insurance would be $24,000 per dose. So we've been going over different options, and just changing the name and living the way we're living might be one of them. Still in discussion. But look at all this fashion. And Allie's here, right in the mix, taking all of her classes, doing her designs. I'm too choked up to talk, but we're all very proud of her. It would have been very easy for her to just make a life just being in my videos as like some kind of sidekick or something, or to get sucked into what everybody else is doing. She did the hair thing. She went to school for that. She tried it out. It wasn't her thing, and she decided she wanted to go back to school for something else. And she's done such a great job. She didn't let almost dying or having surgeries get in the way. The first thing she wanted to do was go right back to school and get right back into it, even though she basically had an entire year gap between some of her classes and the next class up. So she had a lot of catching up to do. I can't even tell you how proud of her I am. Choke it down, we're out of college here. I don't know what this one is. More derelict, I guess, but there's a lot about plastics and microplastics and sustainable fashion in here. I don't know what this is. Vertebrae shirt. Is this made out of human bones? Oh, I see. So there's like 3D printed elements. 3D printed onto the fabric to hold it together. Weird. They're learning about the future here, and the future's super punk. Also super Jedi looking. Look at that. Whoa, I didn't even see this one. I love how futuristic some of this looks. It looks like the Fifth Element. So that's the more advanced students right there doing whole outfits. Reversible jackets. Patrick Starr's hoodie. Man, I can't wait till you get up to this level, Allie, and you start making my whole wardrobe for me. Then I'll look fashionable. Right now, I look like a bum. But that's the way I like to look. All right, time for the obligatory fun pick. Is this the first time you've seen like most of the other people's work, or have you seen most of this already?
I saw it like a couple hours ago.
Oh, when they were setting it up? This is so cool, Allie. I'm so proud of you. I gotta get out of here before the college kids see my emotions. Oh my gosh, when we were walking out of the college, look at this. We stumbled upon sort of an orientation type of thing out here. They got all these high school students, and they're showing different programs you can learn about in college. Look at Fullerton College. It's got a stinking Boston Dynamics robot out here. That is so scary. I feel like it's gonna hunt me down like Minority Report, and all the people are gonna start wearing the clothing from Allie's fashion design. What the heck? I don't know what I was expecting to see today, but that was not on the list. This is so weird. You can be anything you want at college. I didn't take much college. I wish I got to take more. You can even be Allie. Uh-oh. Look at this. Journalism is dead. I miss my old college days, you know, back when I was 30 and you were like, I don't know, 2 or something. Dude, look at this. Look at this. Would you look at the size of this library? It's very difficult for me to say, would you look at the size quietly? I gotta be quiet. You haven't been in here yet? No. This is your school.
It's so cool.
What'd you say?
I'm gonna live my academia dreams in here.
What? Shh. Sir. Shh. 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 You've got the fascinating Scotland and the Mary Stuart. Shh. All I can think of is Ghostbusters. Get her. My dad is walking down every row with London saying, what's in this row? Oh, books. What's in this row? Oh, books. Oh my gosh, I think they have encyclopedias down there. I always wanted one. Never had one. This is awesome, although I gotta tell you, when I was here, I don't remember chess playing robots or dancing dog robots or robot motorcycles or fancy flying drones. There are definitely more robots now in the future than there were in the past. Back in my day, we didn't even have one robot to shake a stick at, except for Edna, but she was just a lady what wore aluminum pants. They've even got robots in the hallway now. Weird. Look at this, look who showed up. Fashionably late. It's Alex and fake Tyler?
Hi.
Fake. Tyler's not here to support Hallie. He's just here to pick up some fashion tips. He's trying to change the face of men's fashion by proving that men don't need socks to be cool. Bogey's interested in wearing some clothes too, so he looks like an Ewok. Quit looking at me, Bogey. Quit looking at me, Bogey. Bogey? Bogey? Yeah, no. Tyler, are you impressed by the algae silk screening?
It's very cool.
Smell it. Smell it. Can you smell the algae? Can you smell the algae?
Smells like the sea.
Feel it. Feels like barnacles.
Ah, feels like the sea too.
Feels like you're wearing nothing at all. Look at things move fast these days. They're taking all this stuff out of here because it's already out of style. It's a little fashion joke. Well, not our normal adventure today, but I did see a robot dog, so score 1 for the good guys. I've done my duty. Tyler found some sunglasses. Oh, score 2 for the good guys. Now it's time to go home and sleep well. And good news, a friend of mine told me he's gonna help me out with the cost of fixing the van, so we're getting that thing back in shape. And we're gonna be out on the road soon, tearing it up across America's highways. Who knows what we'll find or lose. Ooh, I don't know what it means, but it sounded mysterious.
College championship after dinner speaking. Congrats, Dominic.
You should probably win the championship for longest period of time not wearing socks.
Enough with the sock thing.
Hey Tyler, where's your socks? Must sock not must sock to not have protection for your feet. Must sock a lot.
Good one.
About starting a new career in fashion?
Thinking about it.
Or are you thinking about punching me in the face?
Oh, I've never hit you in the face. Why would I ever? You're always so nice to me and kind.
The chest?
Oh, the chest is free game.
Oh
my God. He's fine. He's fine. I got
Look, he almost jumped right out of there. He was so happy. Where did you go? Why?
I was gone for so long.
How dare you go to the restroom? There was a shield generator and Chief Chirpa was angry. Fancy.